Welcome to this video, and in this video we'll be talking about two things. Specifically, we'll be talking about democracy and how democracy is related to political parties. In our previous classes or in our previous subtopics, we dealt with democracy, and we said democracy is the government of the people, by the people, and for the people. We dealt about that. And we said it comes from two Greek words, which is demos, which means people, and kratos. So it is rule or power of the people. So democracy is essentially a system of government where citizens can also be called the people. For example, we have a country like Nigeria. When we have a country like Nigeria, who are the citizens of Nigeria? You and I are the citizens of Nigeria. And who holds the power? Who holds the supreme power? Who decides who is elected? Who decides who is our president? Who is our governor? Who is our senator? Any of all those political offices, the people who decide that are the people, the citizens of Nigeria. So we can say democracy is the system of government where the citizens, the people of Nigeria, you and I, your mom, your dad, your uncle, your family members, decide who holds power, who is in that political office. So there are key ideas of democracy, meaning what are the foundations of democracy. Like imagine you want to build a house, you need a foundation so that that house doesn't collapse. There are blocks laid and the foundation is erected. So what are the foundations for democracy? The number one foundation for democracy is the government of the people. It is the people who decides who becomes elected in different positions in government, and it is government by the people and for the people, meaning the people decides who is elected. And how do they do it? They do that through the process of election. We go out and we vote who should be elected as the president, as the chairman, as the House of Rep. And after you have chosen, or the people have chosen their elected representatives, those people are meant to help the people. The elected representatives are meant to help the people. So the reason why they are in the office, why your president is in the office, why your governor, senate, anybody is in office, is to help you and I, your family members, the people of Nigeria that voted for them. So there is not government for the politicians. It is government for the people. It is not government of the politicians. It's government of the people, by the people, and for the people. And this definition was given by a man called Abraham Lincoln. We'll talk about that Lincoln. We talked about that in our previous video, so I wouldn't take a lot of time in this. So how is this possible? The way it is possible is through what is called representative democracy. Representative democracy essentially means a situation whereby in a group of citizens, for example, Nigeria has over 200 million people. But those 200 million people cannot become presidents, cannot become governors, cannot become senators. Out of those 200 million people, the first thing they have to join is to join a political party. For example, we have APC, we have PDP, and out of those political parties, a representative is chosen. A representative is somebody that represents that political party for a position. So, for example, in the presidential election, the last presidential election, the presidential candidate for APC was His Excellency Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and the candidate for PDP was Atiku Abubakar. And if that being the case, they are the representatives for that political party, and if an election is done, the person chosen or the person who wins the election becomes the president, becomes the governor, becomes the senator. So the citizens do not rule directly. They choose people. They choose people into political office that rules on their behalf. That is why the other time when I said that democracy is the government for the people is very important. So these people chosen, the president, the governor, the senators, are chosen because of the people and not for their own private interests. So what is a political party? A political party is simply simply a group of people that have the same political beliefs, same goals and ideologies. And what's the major aim of political parties? To win election, to control the government and implement their policies. For example, when in the last presidential election we had APC, we had PDP, we have YPP, Young People's Party. All of these things, all of these people's ideology or the reasons why they are there is to win election. And then when they win election, for example, in Nigeria, His Excellency Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu won the election. What did he then do? He controlled the government and implemented his policies. For example, the tax policy that he came up with, removing of subsidy that he came up with, the fuel subsidy. Those are examples of policies that help in running the government. So what are examples of political parties in Nigeria? These are the four major political parties. There are over 50 political parties. So the four major political parties in Nigeria: APC, which is the full meaning is All Progressive Congress; PDP, People's Democratic Party; LP, Labour Party; and NNPP, the New Nigerian People's Party. So what is the function of a political party? Before election, the first thing they want to do is to nominate their candidate. They have to choose somebody that represents them. That represents the interest of the party. For example, APC chose Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, PDP chose Atiku Abubakar, YPP chose ADC chose Peter Obi for the presidential election. Those are examples. For example, in Lagos State, Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu was the APC candidate for the governorship election. So the political party has to choose a candidate. The next thing they do is to educate the voters. And what does educate the voters means? They have to tell the voters what they want to do if they are voted in, which is called manifesto. So manifesto is the goals a politician or a representative wants to achieve if they are voted in a political position. What do they want to do? What does your president want to do? What does your House of Representatives want to do? Then we have mobilized voters. Mobilized voters means after they have told them what to do, they have to encourage the voters to come out to vote. They cannot sit at home and then expect their preferred candidate to enter into that political position. They have to come out, encourage their voters to come out to vote for their candidates. Then after the party wins, for example, when APC won the governorship election in Lagos State and the presidential election, what did they do? They run the government. And what does run the government means? They form the government and appoint ministers. The president cannot do the job alone. So they have different ministers that is appointed for different positions. For example, there's Minister of Education, there's Minister of Information, there is Minister for Housing, there's Minister for Power. Each of the facets of the economy is having a minister, and it's the president that appoints a minister, not the governor, not the Senate, the president. Now, if the party loses, for example, when PDP lost the last presidential election, they act as an opposition. And what does an opposition mean? They act as watchdog, criticize the ruling party, and keep the government in check. That's why you notice when PDP lost the election, whenever President His Excellency Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu does anything, they begin to talk about it and say, oh, he didn't do this well, he didn't do that well, he didn't do this well. This function is very important because no government is perfect, right? No politician is perfect. They will have things that they didn't do well. But if there is no opposition, if there is nobody that can tell them that, oh, you have done this wrong, there's no way they can learn to change and then make the nation better for it and make our lives, you and I, our lives better because they are in the office that we voted them in for.